It's in our blood, you know, it's in our veins, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I think my grandpa has a perfect quote that kind of describes it. Racing is life, anything else is just waiting. Yeah, I think, you know, when I think about my grandfather in Porsche, I just think of history, rich racing history. You know, when you think about Sebring and you think about Le Mans, and you think about what he did in those cars and how dangerous it was, I think it ultimately comes back down to passion. You know, he had a passion for Porsche. My dad had a passion for Porsche, and
I still do.
I was lucky enough where they passed it down to me.
People like you want to know what it's like, and it's just the way it is.
I feel, for me, I almost feel honored to be a part of this community, you know?
I do too.
To be able to be welcomed into this and to be able to get to know these guys that have, with Porsche, garnered that legendary status is really special to me.
If they're dumb enough to give me the keys, I'm gone.
So right here behind me, this is my grandfather's 1958 Porsche Speedster. If you look at my grandfather's background and how he grew up, why I think this car means so much to him and why it meant so much to my dad is this is the first car he ever bought new. So this is the first car he bought new. It's the first car that he ever won a race in. And you can make an argument that this is where the McQueen's love of Porsche developed.
My dad mechanically knew how good they were. And
yeah, I think if you look at a lot of the stuff he did, he was a little ahead of his time.
yeah.
You know?
And you know, they drive 24 hours, 12 hours, and not going, not break.
You know, if you look at what my grandfather liked and what my dad likes, they always gravitated towards the stuff that was the most well-engineered. So when you look at everything Porsche has done, they're the best at everything. I would say that's why we went Porsche. If there's one thing I would really like to do is make these cars a little more available. You know, as much as I love having them here, my dad loves having them and driving them every weekend. We think it's time to really start to share them with the world, if that makes sense. So, you know, bringing them to events like the Friends of Steve McQueen car show and Ren Sport and stuff like that, they'll never leave the family. I've grown up going to car shows and car events, and you know, I think I touched on it earlier. I haven't been to a football game or a basketball game or a baseball game with my dad, but I've pretty much been to every car show and racetrack and motocross show and dirt bike track there is in the US. I don't really know anything else. There is a great way to continue what my grandfather did and not let his legacy die. You know, in this new generation, it's up to my sister and I to keep that name alive and not let the kids younger than me forget who he was. McQueen Racing was a company my dad formed with all of us. He's got a pretty unique skill set. Acted and produced in over 40 movies, you know, national champion race car driver, same thing with motocross. And he was really looking for a way to put everything under one umbrella and kind of one roof. It's a way for us to express ourselves, you know, express our DNA, our McQueen heritage, and really share with the world what we've learned from my dad, who in turn learned from his dad, and kind of what it means to be McQueen. I'm Chase McQueen. I'm one of the founders of McQueen Racing. I am a third generation McQueen, and I am Porsche.